Is it possible to build Meshtastic for only 4 euros, a secure off-grid alternative to SMS messages and Messenger, Viber and WhatsApp? It looks like it is possible to build it. This is a test to see if it works and how it works. The 4 euros communicator is connected to a computer, and the communicator with a screen is slightly more expensive, but therefore also more robust. This is the basic principle of how they work. Meshtastic communicators come in various shapes, sizes and purposes. Some serve only as repeaters. This is the basic working principle. Every communicator is also a repeater, so the more people use it, the more stable and stronger the network becomes. My main idea is for it to be as compact as possible, so it can be attached to a phone case. This is an open source project, so it is developed by enthusiasts like you and me. All information and instructions are on their website, nicely and clearly explained. On the website we can see the number of users and basic information. Here is an animation showing how it works and on what principle. For those who choose ready-made versions, there is a very simple flasher available on the site. These are just some of the ready from the box solutions. Since we are going with a DIY solution, our first stop is the official GitHub. Since we are using the ESP32C3 Mini, we need to find its files. Since I am not very skilled at programming and reading code, I leave that to ChatGPT. Through it, I extract the pinout for connecting the LoRa module to the ESP32. Let's start building. First, we go with the more expensive version, but both are based on the same components. The star of the evening is the LLC68 to 915 MHz, which I paid only 2.3 euros for on AliExpress. Of course, we need the brain of the operation, which is the ESP32C3 Super Mini, paid around 2 euros. Everything beyond that is less important. Of course, there is also a button and the OLED screen. Together they did not cost more than 1 euro. This is the pinout I am following. First, I immediately connected two power lines and two grounds. I removed the old pins from the display, because we do not need them, connecting power to the screen. Now powering the LoRa module as well. This module is not bigger than my fingernail, so we have to be careful. Now, carefully following the instructions written above, I connect all the components. I am really not a fan of this kind of delicate work with such tiny components. Here I am testing the button, because I am not sure when it opens and when it closes. The only thing I regret is not using softer wires, but I corrected that with the second communicator. Hardware officially finished. Now software. We connect our communicator to USB. Nothing started smoking. That's good, and now we can continue with the project. Firmware successfully uploaded. That was harder than planned. And after a lot of messages exchanged between ChatGPT and me, it is now active. Everything works as it should. A short click moves, and a long press confirms. But as the saying goes, what is more important than the first telephone in the world? Of course, the second telephone. Now we are making the ultra cheap version. Of course, this time we use the same schematic and thinner wires. For this one, I imagined placing one board under the other, so they can be thinner and the ESP32 has room for cooling. Honestly, I plan to replace the antenna on both with an adapter for a larger antenna. Here is how it looks when everything is connected. The smaller one costs around 4 euros and the bigger one around 5 euros. But the difference is only in appearance. I decided to place them inside heat shrink tubing for protection from dust and wear. And it does not look that bad in black tubing. The bigger one is connected to a phone, the smaller one to a computer via USB. We select the port it is connected to, in my case, COM4. We have to select the region and frequency. For me, it is EU. Everything works. Thanks for watching.